Everything I say's untrue. Though true, I try to make it. Even as the word escapes my lips, would I had never spake it. Mercury goes retrograde today. And in honor of the swift-footed, winged-footed god of communications, liars, lawyers, and various other things. Let's honor Mercury, or at least acknowledge the speech in the silence, the words against the sun of night, the voice of Mercury in the universe in the presence of the eternal gods, the formulas of knowledge, the wisdom of breath, the radix of vibration, the shaking of the invisible, the rolling asunder of the darkness, the becoming visible of matter, the piercing of the coils of the stooping dragon, the breaking forth of the light. Liber Israfel. The temple being in darkness and the speaker ascending to his place, let him begin a ritual of the enterer as followeth. And the sign of the enterer, of course, is that. It's usually followed by this sign, a ritual of the enterer. Might be a circumambulation of the temple, giving the sign of the enterer followed by the sign of silence. It does not specify. But what it does specify is, after making whatever your sign of the enterer is, you say, Procol, o procol este profani, balasti ompeda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee we invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and the cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers of the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dusk, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Ra, advancing onward toward the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth, behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance wherein Ptah floateth over the firmament. I travel on high, I tread upon the firmament of Nu. I raise the flashing flame, with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of the earth. If I say, come up upon the mountains, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kephra created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a God sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of Ptah when he created his works. I am eternal. Therefore all things are as my designs. Therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, all light, all power, Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, Odin. By whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east that did conduct the Magi, thou art the same all-present in heaven and in hell, thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing, ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, the moon, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth has ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the aether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. I invoke the priestess of the silver star, Asi, the curved one, by the ritual of silence. I make open the gate of bliss. I descend from the palace of the stars. I greet you. I embrace you, O children of earth, that are gathered together in the hall of darkness. The speech in the silence. The words against the son of night. The voice of Tahuti in the universe in the presence of the eternal. The formulas of knowledge, the wisdom of breath, the root of vibration, the shaking of the invisible, the rolling asunder of the darkness, the becoming visible of matter, the piercing of the scales of the crocodile, the breaking forth of the light. At the ending of the light, at the limits of the night, stood Mercury before the unborn ones of time. Then was formulated the universe. Then came forth the gods thereof. Aeons of the bornless beyond. Then was the voice vibrated. Then was the name declared. At the threshold of the entrance between the universe and the infinite, in the sign of the enterer, stood Mercury. As before him the aeons were proclaimed. In symbols did he record them. In breath did he vibrate them. For between the light and the darkness did he stand. There is an end of the speech. Let the silence of darkness be broken. Let it return into the silence of light. The speaker silently departs, the listeners disperse into their homes. Yea, they disperse into their homes. That was Liber Israfel with assertive mercurial attachments. Mercury retrograde doesn't have to be a bummer, but it's good to be aware of it. I was told very, very early on that the early space program, the NASA space program, they swore they didn't believe in astrology or anything like that, but they took extra care not to do any major rocket launches while Mercury was in retrograde. And I guess you'll have to look it up to see if that's true, but I wouldn't doubt it. So enjoy this Mercury retrograde period. It'll go till the 2nd or 3rd of October. I believe I was born with Mercury retrograde, so how do I know how it works? I'm just as screwed up as I ever am. Until tomorrow for Saturday morning cartoons. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'm going to try to stay cool. Supposedly it's going to cool down tomorrow. We're forecast at 106 today, which is 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. Anyway, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. I return to silence.